All right, coming to your live here. We're going to go through expected starts, going through the whole league here for game week 42. As always, big shout out to Fangraphs Roster Resource for giving all this great playing time data. Makes it a lot easier to predict. Also to RotoWire coming up with probable pitchers lists each week. We're going to start in Arizona. You can see they face 3 right-handed starters. So all the left-handed bats going to be in here. We've got Alec Thomas still in the minors, I believe. Yep, he's going to be a 0. Christian Walker's getting close. I heard he's taking dry swings, but they're not going to rush him back because they acquired Josh Bell, and he's playing pretty well. So I'm still going to put him at 0 this week. Corbin Carroll should start against all the right-handed pitching. He's going to be a 3. Eugenio Suarez still hadn't sat out in about a month and a half. He should be in there all week. Gabby Moreno still in the IL. He's down to a 0. Geraldo Perdomo started every game since August 8th. I would expect him in there. He does get breaks occasionally. Is he due for one? Maybe. He's not hitting that great. Let's give him 2.5. I think he's either a 2 or a 3. Jake McCarthy's still on fire, not coming out against righties. He's a 3. Jock Peterson actually got a break today against a right-handed pitcher, which never happens. I would still expect him in there all 3. He did pinch hit and scored a run and knocked one in, so should be back out there this week. Josh Bell has been in every game since the 2nd of August. He should be out there. Ketel Marte came back from injury on Saturday, let off, didn't play today. Still can't trust Ketel Marte right now. I know you want to play him. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe I'll give him 2, hopefully, but he's not going to make your projections. Kevin Newman's been playing in place of Marte. Sporadic, though. I think he's not a full-time player. We'll give him 1.5. And Lourdes played all weekend. He usually sits here and there. Could he get a day? Maybe. He's fairly hot. I'm going to give him 2.5. I just don't trust him to play every day. He just sits too often. All right, let's head to Atlanta. We got Adam Duvall. I was telling you, I think he's going to get DFA'd. He didn't play all weekend. I think you got to put him at a 0 for now. Austin Riley, not going to come out. All 3. Eddie Rosario, DFA'd, and then picked up by the Mets. He's in the Mets minors right now. Jared Kelenic should be in there every day, but he's been sitting against some lefties. As you can see, they have 1 lefty. Chris Sanchez lines up to get him on Thursday. I'm going to give 2 starts for Kelenic. Jorge Soler missed the whole weekend. I don't think you can trust him to be back quite yet. Marcelo Zuna doesn't come out. He's a 3. Matt Olson doesn't come out. He's a 3. Michael Harris, has he been playing every day since he came back? Yep, absolutely. And he's actually been pretty hot. Expect him to be in there all 3, even with the lefty. We got Orlando Arcia. He doesn't come out. He's a 3. Ozzy Albies still on the IL, 0. Ramon Laureano played all weekend. He's hot. I'd expect him in there. I think he's going to play every day. They love playing guys every day. They're giving him a real shot here. I'm going to give him 3 games. Sean Murphy, an alternating here. He played today. The Braves play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but it's been just kind of a 1-for-1 alternating spot. I think Darno gets 2 and Murphy gets 1 this week. If the pattern holds, let's go to Baltimore. Adley Rutschman got scratched on Friday, didn't play Saturday, but he's back in there today and he's catching. That's a great sign. I think he homered today as well. Baltimore with this nice 4-game week, 3 lefties and a righty. If we look at their rotations here, they do like Rutschman in more against righties than lefties. Not that he can't hit lefties, but I think he probably gets 3 starts. I think he's going to sit one of those. Santander got the day off today, so I think you can expect him back out there for the whole week. Give him 4. Nice start for him. Cedric Mullins, they do like to sit against lefties. And yeah, with the 3 lefties going, this is such a weird situation for Baltimore. I think he maybe gets 2 starts, at least 1, maybe 2. We're going to give him credit for 2. Colton Cowser hasn't come out in a long time. Expect him out there for all 4. even though he's cooled off a little bit, I think he's still in there. He's earned that. I think you're going to see a lot of Eloy Jimenez. They definitely like him against the lefties, playing him against some righties now. I think he probably sits the one righty and starts against the three lefties. So we'll give him 3. Gunnar Henderson, he should be out there all the time. JD Davis, I believe, is in their minors somewhere. And this would be a lefty specialist, but I don't even see him on the roster. So I got to put him at 0. I swear he signed with Baltimore, but maybe he went somewhere else now. Westberg still out with an injury. Jorge Beneo still on the IL. Ryan Mountcastle, I think you can expect him in at least 3, possibly all 4. I definitely like him against those left-handed pitchers. We go 3.5 for Mountcastle. Ryan O'Hearn, this is one where you don't want to use O'Hearn because he will likely sit against all left-handed pitching. I think he only gets 1 start this week. Light work for him. We're on to Boston. Cedar Rafaela, not going to come out. He should be a full-time player. 3 games this week. Connor Wong, starting catcher. He even DH'd last time against the lefty. Jansen hasn't been great since coming over, and Wong is pretty warm right now with the bats, so I would say he should be in there at least 2, maybe even all 3 here. I think he gets a break. I'll give him 2. Danny Jansen getting a start here somewhere. David Hamilton, they really don't love against left-handed pitching, so I think he's out on Monday and in the other 2. Dom Smith got DFA'd, so he is no longer on the roster. Make this big enough. Make him red here. Move that over. Okay. Where were we here? Jaron Duran. Yeah, he's going to be out there. All 3, unless he says something stupid. And he is in the lineup. Yoshida, he's been pretty good. And he did sit against the lefty. Before that, played a lot of games in a row. I think he probably starts against the lefty Kikuchi tomorrow. I would expect him to play all 3. Devers is going to be in there. He's a 3. We've got Rob Refsnyder, lefty specialist. I think he gets 1 start. We've got kids screaming in the basement. Tristan Casas back from the IL. Finally. Yay. He should be in there every day, especially with Dom Smith DFA'd. He's going to be regular, so we're going to turn him green. Tyler O'Neill, is he back? He is. Started the last 2. Can you trust him to play the whole series, though? You just look back at his game logs. Yeah, he gets 3 in a row here and there, but coming off injury, having played 2 in a row, I just don't trust it. I'm going to give him 2.5. Vaughn Grissom's back in AAA. He's a 0. Wilyer Abreu going to play against the righties, but not the lefties. He's a 2. Cody Bellinger is on the Cubs, so let's go to Chicago. Bellinger not coming out unless he's hurt, and he looks healthy right now. Let's give him a 3. Dansby Swanson not coming out. Ian Happ, red hot. He's not coming out. Isaac Paredes injured today. Let's see what happened to Isaac Paredes here. First one that is new news to me. What did he do? Shoulder injury. Scratched with a shoulder issue. Well, he was 0 for 11 in the 2 previous games. Yeah, I got a day off on Monday. He's so cold, it doesn't matter. Let's just assume he's injured and give him a 0. I think you want to start him right now anyway. Michael Busch has been in almost all the time, but not against the lefties recently. And with the Cubs getting 2 lefties, I'd expect Busch to play either 1 or 2 games. I'll give him 1.5. He may get one of those starts against the lefties, especially if Paredes can't go. Miguel Amaya, still your starting catcher. Started the last 4, though. I expect him to get 1 game off. We'll give him 2. Mike Tauchman really hasn't played at all recently. He's been cold when he has played, so let's give him a 0. Nico Horner doesn't come out of the lineup unless he's injured. He's fine. Pete Crow Armstrong's actually been hitting. He looks fine. He's good for 3. Seiya Suzuki should be out there all 3. And Benintendi is with the White Sox. White Sox get lefty, lefty, righty. So 2 lefties, 1 righty. Benintendi much better against righties, but playing against both right now, he looks like an everyday player for the White Sox. We'll give him 3. Andrew Vaughn should be a 3. Corey Julks, the playing time's real sporadic, but he is in there against lefties. I think he gets 2 starts here. Gavin Sheets, we've got mostly a platoon, but looks like he played a little bit. Yeah, he may actually go all 3. We'll give him 2.5. Just with the 2 lefties, he may sit one. Corey Leisure, starting catcher, he should go 2 of the 3, I would think. Lennon Sosa, still getting some playing time. They actually like him against the lefties, so I'm going to give him 2 this week. He's not an everyday player, though. Let's get him off of there. Luis Robert, he should be in there all week. That's a 3. Nick Senzel, they're going to like him against lefties, but he hasn't played since August 5th. I don't think you can trust him for much of anything. We'll give him 1. Nicky Lopez, he actually got some playing time against the lefty today. Usually doesn't start, though. I think either 1 or 2 for Lopez. Give him a 1.5. We're on to Cincinnati, as Bill Belichick would say. Ellie De La Cruz slumped over the weekend, unfortunately. He's cooled off considerably after a real hot stretch. Let's see what Cincinnati has. Righty, 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 lefty. So 3 righties and a lefty. Doesn't matter for De La Cruz. He should be in there regardless. Jake Fraley starts against those righties, so he'll be out there 3 times. Candelario, he doesn't come out. Did get a day off here, but usually plays every day. I think he's in there. India should be in there every day. Nick Martini still in the IL. Noelvi Marte getting random days off here now. He's really cold. I would say either 2 or 3 starts for him. Give him 2.5. Espinal's been okay. I think he definitely gets to start against the lefty and maybe 1 against a righty. So give him 1.5. Spencer Steer should be out there every day. He's hot right now. Stuart Fairchild will start against that lefty. Let's give him 1. TJ Friedel should start probably against everybody. Yeah, I think he's in there for all 4. Ty France, been pretty regular, but the playing time's drying up a little bit already. I think he's probably out there either 2 or 3, so we'll give him a 2.5. Tyler Stevenson, starting catcher. He actually started 6 games in a row at catcher, which is pretty impressive. And he will DH here and there. I think this might be a situation where he gets 3 out of the 4 games. Probably does. Will Benson, not going to play against the lefty, but he should be in there most of the time against righties, but he's losing some playing time. I would give him 2.5. Andres Jimenez going to Cleveland. We've got full playing time for Andres Jimenez. I think he's a 3. Angel Martinez still down in the minors. He's a 0. Bo Naylor, starting catcher, should get 2 of the 3. Brian Rocchio, not a full-time player. I'd say 1 or 2, so we'll give him 1.5. We got Schneemann. Schneemann was starting every game for a while, but he's real sporadic right now. I think he probably gets 1 or 2, 1.5. Can't trust a lot of these guys, unfortunately. David Fry, DH'd on Friday, then sat the rest of the weekend. He's okay, but I don't think you can give him more than 2. He's probably 1.5 or 2. But since he sat the last 2 games, I think he might be in there for 2 out of these next 3. Jose Ramirez doesn't come out, and he's hot. He should be in there. Josh Naylor, he's pretty hot. He should stay in there. Lane Thomas. I don't know what's going on with Lane Thomas. He hasn't been the same guy since he came over from Washington. Now he's been sitting quite a bit. Can you even trust him to get full playing time? I don't trust it right now. I'm going to give him 2 games. Stephen Kwan will be out there all the time. Tyler Freeman. They have any lefties this week? They have 1. I'll give Freeman 1 game. I think he starts against Nestor Cortez. And we are on to Colorado. All right. Who's Colorado got? Lefty, lefty, lefty. Okay, so a weird one here for Colorado. For Charlie Blackmon, this is a bad matchup. He sits a lot against lefties and doesn't hit well when he does play against lefties. So are they going to sit him all three? Well, okay. Well, we're not to Blackmon yet. I'm going to give Blackmon 1. Brendan Rodgers, I would think, is probably better against righties, but he almost never sits. This might actually be a series. Well, he's pretty hot right now. I expect him to be out there all 3. Brenton Doyle got a big hit today. He doesn't usually come out. He should be out there all 3. Charlie Blackmon, we said 1. Elias Diaz was surprisingly DFA'd. He's a free agent right now. He's going to be a 0. Not even on the team. Ezekiel Tovar sat today. That's his first rest day since July 21st. Expect him out there all 3. Need to get his head right. He's cold right now. Hunter Goodman. This is a guy that can catch sometimes. No, he's back in AAA. They just sent him down. So give him a big 0. Who's catching? Are they just going with Stallings? Well, Stallings and Drew Romo. Yeah, whoever that is. All right. So Stallings, if he's going to be your starting catcher now, I expect him to get about 2. Jake Cave does not normally play at all against left-handed pitching. You can see all these blanks are against lefties. Did have 1 here. I think he may have to play 1, but I wouldn't trust him for any more than that. Chris Bryant back on the IL as usual. Michael Tolia hasn't missed a game in forever, and his bat's heating up again. Expect him to be out there for all 3. Nolan Jones. Nolan Jones is off the IL, but he didn't play today. So do you trust him to play 3 games this week? I don't. I think he maybe plays 2, so we'll give him 2. Ryan McMahon's been pretty cold for a while. He started to sit down against some lefties. Of course, you got the 3 lefties this week. I think he probably starts 2 games, but you don't want to play him. And we're on to Detroit and Colt Keith. And Colt Keith needs... What? Oh, never mind. She's on the phone. All right. Colt Keith really only starts against right-handed pitching all the time, sometimes against the lefties now. 3 righties for Detroit. I think you can expect him out there all 3. Gio Urshela. Where is Gio? And the DFA'd him, so he's going to be a 0. As you get these surprise moves, he did play a lot, and he just suddenly cut the guy. That means Javi Baez should be in there more, but he's sat 2 out of the 3 games this weekend. Do you want to trust him for 3 games? No, I don't. I think 1 or 2 maybe for Baez. They're just trying some new guys here. Justin Henry Malloy playing a little bit more. Got the day off today. I think he may be safe for 3 games. He's so cold right now. 2 or 3. We'll give him 2.5. You're not going to play him anyway. Kerry Carpenter should be in there all 3, and he's a nice play this week. This is a really good left-handed bat. They're still sitting him against left-handed pitching, but he's crushing righties. Get him in there. Matt Vierling, pretty much a full-time player. Did get a day off on Thursday, but before that, you can see he really only gets days off every once in a while. Since he just had one, we'll go 3 on him. Riley Green is back from the IL tonight, DHing. Don't know if I trust him to get his normal at bats, but since it's 3 righties, I'm going to go ahead and keep him at a 3 as well. Wencel Perez still on the IL. He's a 0. Zach McKinstry, we're looking at playing time is a little sporadic. He should get more, though, especially with Urshela being cut, because McKinstry's a guy that can play all over the place. I'm going to go 2.5. I think 2 or 3 for McKinstry. And we're on to Houston. So Alex Bregman missed the weekend. We're going to check and see if we have any updates for you on him. He slept on his arm wrong or something. Swelling in the back of his right elbow from sleeping on it wrong. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can play him after he missed the whole series, so I don't trust it. I don't know what's going on. That's a 0 for me. I just don't risk it. If you think you know better, go right ahead. I don't know. Righty for Houston. So those left-handed bats should be good. Jake Myers just doesn't come out. He should 4. Jeremy Pena should be in there every day, and he's hot. He's a 4. John Singleton should actually be in there most of the time, even despite the fact that he's played very sparingly recently. Give him at least 2 games this week with all the right-handed pitchers. Altuve should be in there. Kyle Tucker still on the IL. Mauricio Doban, more of a specialist against those lefties. But he's going to be in there at least 2 or 3 games. Give him 2.5. Leonard Diaz still hasn't come out in months. He's a 4. And Jordan should rake this week against the right-handed pitching. Got the day off today, so he should be a good play this week. And we're on to KC and Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt's not coming out. He's a 3 this week. We've got Freddie Fermin. Freddie Fermin really crushes lefties. Let's see if they have any. They got 1, and he plays against some righties too. I'd expect him to get at least 1, maybe 2 games. Maybe he plays them all. He's pretty hot right now. I'm going to go 2.5 actually on Fermin. Hunter Renfroe. The playing time's come down a little bit lately. Definitely like him against lefties, so he gets that 1 plus. I can give him 2 this week. Not in there as much as he has been. I think Isbell gets all the righties he can handle, so he's going to be a 2. Michael Garcia, I believe, has his regular spot back now. They gave him 2 days off in a row. Hitting hasn't been great, but overall, he's still a good fantasy player because he steals so many bases. I think he's going to play full games this week. Michael Massey, they actually started him against the lefty, which is kind of weird, but sat him against a righty. He was a strict platoon early in the year. Now he's just kind of plays most of the time. I can't give him more than 2 games, unfortunately. Melendez, I don't think is going to play against the lefty, so he's a 2. Paul DeYoung, the playing time's been a little sporadic lately. I think he's probably in there some of the time, but I can't give him more than like 1.5. Sal Perez doesn't come out. He's a 3. Vinny doesn't come out. He's a 3. And we are on to the Angels. And we've got Anthony Rendon. Injured again. Yeah, not even going to look at it. We're just going to give him a 0. He's just whatever. I'm over it. Brandon Drury. Back for a couple games, especially with Rendon down now. I think Drury probably plays all week. Hasn't hit all that well. Let's see. Angels have 4. Wait a minute. Oh. Angels have 4. Ooh. I missed something. Yes, that should be a 4. 4-game week. All right. We're up to date. So if the Angels have 4, I'd expect Drury to be there in 3 or 4 starting. So let's give him a 3.5. We've got Joe Adell. Joe Adell playing pretty much every day. Got a day off last Wednesday. Before that, he'd started about 20 in a row. I expect him out there all 4. Logan O'Hoppy's been pretty decent. Got hurt. Always been struggling with the bat. I think he's probably in there for 3 of the 4. Got the day off today. Rengifo still on the IL, unfortunately. Mickey Moniak will start against the righties, but not the lefties. He should be in there 3 out of the 4. We've got Seanwell. He doesn't really come out. He got 1 day off, but I think he's in there all 4. Taylor Ward should be in there all 4. Back from paternity leave. He's fine. He's been leading off. Willie Calhoun. Don't like him against the lefties. What'd they do with him? AAA. Okay, never mind. He is a 0. Not on the active roster. Zach Neto. He should be in there all 4. They just gave him a day off. First one in a long time. Med Rosario got DFA'd. He is a 0. We are already on to the Dodgers. The Dodgers got righty. Okay, good for those left-handed Dodger bats. Andy Pajes playing about every other day. I would expect him out there for 1 or 2, so 1.5 here. Chris Taylor still on the IL. He's a 0. Enrique Hernandez. We're looking at everyday playing time right now, even with Betts back. Freddie Freeman, is he hurt? What happened to him? Finger injury. Will miss more time. Ooh, a few additional days. Okay. All right. So the report is he's going to miss some time, at least part of this week, and that's good enough for me to take him down to a 0. Do not play Freddie Freeman. To go a different direction there. Gavin Lux, he's a left-handed bat, and he loves right-handed pitching, so he should be out there all 3. James Outman, are they going to recall him from AAA with Freeman being hurt? I don't know. For right now, he's a 0 because he's in AAA. Jason Hayward, even against the righties, he's not playing much because they put Betts in the outfield now. I don't think you can trust him for more than like 1 game, which is too bad. He'd be a nice bat against some right-handed pitching. Kevin Kiermaier's been playing a lot, which is wild, but I don't think Hayward can play center anymore, and Kiermaier's good defensively. Looks like he's probably getting 2 games. Max Muncy is apparently close, but still on the IL. Miguel Rojas is back. He's been playing pretty regularly. I think you probably get 2 or 3 from him. Change him to, well, he's not a platoon and he's not a regular, so he's white. Mookie Betts is going to be all 3. Nick Ahmed, now his playing time is very sporadic. I think maybe he gets 1 game. Shohei is going to be in there all 3. Teo should play all 3. He did get a day off on Saturday. First one in almost 2 months. So, yeah, he should be out there. Tommy Edmonds still on the IL. Will Smith should play 2 out of 3 as your starting catcher. And we're on to Miami and the red hot Jake Berger. It's Berger time. 6th best hitter over the last week, and he has been hot, homering a lot. He should be out there all 3. Jesus Sanchez playing against the lefty on Friday. I think he continues to hit against both right and left-handed pitching for the most part, at least. So 2 lefties, though. They're facing Arizona. I think maybe he sits one of those. Let's give him 2.5. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing. Nick Gordon, he's at AAA. So he's a 0. Otto Lopez, he's been playing every day. He's a 3. Vidal Brujan. I think you can probably X out the lefty for Brujan. 2 lefties for Brujan. Yeah, let's give him 1 game this game week. Xavier Edwards hasn't come out in a while. And that's it for Miami. We're still in the Jonah Bride. I know you want to try to play him, but he doesn't have any cards. So we're going to wait until he gets a card. Somebody can tell me. Derek Hill, he's been playing full-time, but not hitting all that well. So there are other guys on this team. I realize that, but not worth covering as of yet. Andrew Monasterio should play against the lefty. Do the Brewers get any? They do not. 3 righties. I would say that's a 0 for Monasterio. He hasn't played since August 11th. Blake Perkins is still on the IL. Bryce Terang going to play against those right-handed pitchers. He's a 3. Christian Yelich had season-ending back surgery. I'm going to put him in dark red now that he's out for the year. Gary Sanchez, backup catcher. But Eric Haas also is a backup catcher. Which one do they go with? Well, hard to say. I'll say Gary gets 1. Jackson Churrio's been great. Got hit in the hand today with a pitch, but stayed in the game. Hit after that, so I think he's fine. He's at 3. Jake Bowers. I don't love Jake Bowers, but they do like to play him. We'll give him a game and a half. Garrett Mitchell's been playing despite being cold. I think he's in there against all the righties regardless. He's at 3. Joey Ortiz doesn't come out. He's a 3. Reese Hoskins sitting a little bit. He's been pretty cold. I give him a 2.5. I think he might play all 3, but he might just be 2 starts. Sal Frelick should be out there for all 3. William Contreras has been hot. He's going to be out there all 3. Willie Adames never comes out. He's 3. And we're on to Minnesota. Alex Kirilloff, still on the IL. He's a 0. Byron Buxton, unfortunately, back on the IL. He's a 0. Him pink. Carlos Correa working his way back, but still in the IL. He's 0. Carlos Santana, he's been playing pretty regularly, righties and lefties. Let's take a look at the Twins here. Righty, lefty, righty. I think Santana's in all 3. Christian Vasquez, been alternating with Ryan Jeffers. Looks like it's his turn on Monday, so he should get 2 out of the 3 this week. Jose Miranda hasn't been hitting all that well. Did just sit on Saturday. I just don't know if you can trust him to play all 3. I'm going to go 2.5. He might, but might not. I wouldn't expect Margot to play, but he did play today against a righty. He gets a start against a righty occasionally. We'll give him 1. Wallner should be in there all 3. Let's see here. Max Kepler should be in there all 3. Royce Lewis, do we trust him to play all 3? Well, he got a day off today, and he played like 7 straight before that. So I'm going to go 3 on Royce Lewis this week. Ryan Jeffers, like I was saying, alternates with Vasquez. I think he gets 1. He could DH in the other one, so we'll give him 1.5. And then Trevor Larnach should play against those right-handed pitchers. Give him a 3. Billy Castro almost never comes out. Got a break on Friday, so I think he's out there for 3. And we're on to the Mets. And a 4-game week for the Mets. Brandon Nimmo hit a bomb today. That was a good sign because he's been pretty cold. I think he'll probably be out there all 4. There is a lefty on Monday in Rogers, but not a real tough lefty. And I think they want to get Nimmo going. They'll keep him out there all 4. Francisco Alvarez, your starting catcher. He should go 3 of the 4. Lindor doesn't sit. He's out there for all 4, and he's hot again. Harrison Bader, I think he's probably playing most of the time right now, but I'd say either 2 or 3 in this 4-game week. JD Martinez sat Sunday as expected because it was probably an early start. He just doesn't like the early starts. They have 1 on Wednesday, so I'm going to say he's a 3 this week. Jeff McNeil, you're going to get him in against all the righties and maybe even some lefties. He got a day off today, but he's been pretty hot over the last month or so. I'd expect him to get 3 or even 4, so I'm going to go 3.5 for McNeil. Jesse Winker, been playing against mostly right-handed pitching, but not all of them. Well, lately, he started the last 7 against righties. All right, so let's say he sits on Monday. I'll give him 3. Jose Iglesias, real sporadic right now. We're going to give him either 1 or 2. I'll give him 1.5. Mark Vientos should be in there all week. He's played the last 5. He's the 17th ranked player over the last 7 days. So let's get him out there for all 4. Pete Alonso, top 100 this last week. He doesn't come out. Starlin Marte finally off the IL. Started today. Do you trust him to play all week? Nope, I don't. I'd say he probably plays either 2 or 3 games this week. Tyrone Taylor, really put on a back burner now that Marte is back. I would say he's in there once, probably on Monday against the lefty. Aaron Judge going to the Yankees. Aaron Judge isn't going to come out. Look at this. You got the Yankees. You got number 1 and number 2 for the season and over the last 7 days, and then you don't have anybody else. That's pretty much the Yankees' offense right now. Is he coming out? No, I think Judge is playing all 3. Verdugo's probably playing all 3. Sat against the lefty on Sunday, even though he usually plays against lefties. I think with the day off, he'll get Boyd on Tuesday, and he'll play against him, then 2 righties. So I'd expect Verdugo to be out there for all 3, regardless of his struggles. Anthony Rizzo still in the IL. He's 0. Anthony Volpe doesn't come out. He's a 3. Ben Rice should start against the righties. Well, he's sitting against righties now. He's really cooled off. I think you can only trust him for maybe 1 start. They're probably going to look a different direction here pretty soon. You've got LeMahieu. He'll get the lefty for sure. Might get a righty too. Let's go 1.5 on LeMahieu. Stanton should definitely get the lefty and probably at least one of the righties, maybe both. Let's go 2.5 on Stanton. Glaber should be in there all week. Jess Chisholm still on the IL. He's a 0. Soto should be in there. Grisham. Grisham really sparingly plays. Going to be against a righty. If he does, we'll give him 1, but he may not even play 1. And we're on to Oakland and Abraham Toro. And Abraham Toro is a guy that was playing every day early in the year and now basically not playing at all. I think maybe 1 game for Toro. It was a 4-game week for the A's. We've got a lefty and 3 righties they're lined up for. I think Brent Rooker plays them all. I think Daz Cameron plays against that left-hander. And that's probably about it. Did get occasional starts against righties. Yeah, I think they're trying to give him a chance. We'll give him 1.5. JJ Bleday should play against all 3 righties. And actually, he's played against the lefties too. And he is red hot. I think he goes all 4. Lawrence Butler, I think definitely gets the righties. He may sit against the lefties. He's cooled off considerably. I think we can go about 3.5 on him. He might start against the lefty. He might not. Max Schumann, playing pretty much every day. We're going to give him a 4. And Duhar really doesn't come out either. Got 1 day off, but other than that, he's pretty steady in there. Seth Brown should get the righties and not the lefties, so he would be a 3. Shea Langoliers, your starting catcher, he's hot too. Could they DH him? No, they can't because Rooker's got a DH. I think he's probably 3 out of 4. Not a bad start this week, though, even with that. Tyler Nevin's going to get the lefty. He's going to be a 1. And Tyler Soderstrom is still in the IL, 0. Zach Geloff playing almost every day, and he's heated up a little bit. He's a 4. And we are back to Philly. Everybody's favorite team, the Phillies. We've got Alec Boehm. He's not coming out. He's a 3. Austin Hayes still in the IL, 0. Brandon Marsh. He's not hitting lefties all that well. So let's see what we've got here. Righty, lefty, righty. Tough one in Max Fried. I think Marsh sits down for that one. We're going to give him a 2. Yep. Let's see here. Bryce Harper should start all 3. Got the day off today, so we're good there. Bryson Stott. He's not hitting against lefties very well. But they've been forced to throw him out there a couple times. Let's give him 2.5. Might play against the lefty. Doesn't really matter, though. You're not going to use him anyway with a projection of 13.5. Edmundo Sosa probably gets the lefty. He even started against a righty today, but he's cold. We'll give him 1. Real Muto should get 2 out of the 3, I would think. Johan Rojas. He's been playing a lot. He'll definitely get the lefty. Might get a righty. We'll give him 1.5 starts. Kyle Schwarber should get them all. Castellanos should get them all. Trey Turner should get them all. And we are on to Pittsburgh. And the newly injured Andrew McCutchen. He is on the IL. I started him in a couple lineups over the weekend. And he immediately got hurt, so that was great. Let's see here. Brian De La Cruz. Has he hit the ball since joining the Pirates? Not much, but it's better than it was a couple weeks ago or a week ago or a couple days ago even, so he might be heating up a little bit. I expect him in there every day, especially with McCutchen out. It's going to open up some DH spots for guys like Reynolds. And for Reynolds, I think he got a random day off on Saturday after playing pretty much every day all year, so I think he's in there all 4. Connor Joe is exclusively against left-handed pitching right now. Pittsburgh actually gets 3 of them. Well, I would say he's at least 2, maybe even 3. So let's give him 3.5. Wow, how bad has he been? That's terrible. Kiner Falefa's ironed out an everyday role. He is leading off right now, which tells you all you need to know about the Pirates offense. Jared Triolo, going to get the lefty, might get some righties. I would give him 2 out of the 4. Ji-hwan Bae, I don't think they want to put him against lefties, so maybe just one for J1 Bay. Brian Hayes should be out there most of the time. I know they want his bat in there against lefties, and he's pretty much a regular and just got a day off on Sunday, so we're going to give him 4. Nick Gonzalez still in the IL. O'Neal Cruz sat against the last lefty after playing against some for a while. He's Oh man, what do you do with him? 3 left-handed pitchers. I don't think you can assume he's going to play all 4 games. He probably starts 3 of them. I don't know. That's a tough call. Rowdy Tellez, I know they don't like him against lefties. He probably gets 1, maybe 2 starts. I'll give him 1.5. And we're on to San Diego and David Peralta, who will be in there against the righties. And there are 4 of them this week, with the Padres facing the Twins and then the Mets on Thursday. 4 right-handed starters against. I'd expect Peralta to be out there against those right-handed pitchers. He has been hitting 19th overall last 7 days. We've got Donovan Solano really playing sparingly. He's mostly just against lefties. Now, I don't think you can give him any. Give him a 0. Tatis, they say, is progressing, but he's not close to a return yet. Hassan Kim left today's game, I heard, with an injury. Let's see if we got an update for you on him. Shoulder injury. I was listening to this game on the radio. They said he hurt it diving back into a base, jammed his shoulder. I don't think you can trust this right now until we hear something different. I'm put him at 0. Jackson Merrill. I think you want Jackson Merrill in if you've got him. He did get Saturday off against the lefty, but been hitting everybody before that. He's been great this year. He's a 4-gamer for me, especially against all right-handed pitching. Jake Cronenworth, another left-handed bat. He should be in there against all the righties. Jurickson Profar plays every day. Higashioka, still your starting catcher for the most part. You're getting more split time now with Campusano, and Higashioka's been cold. I think they might do 2 and 2 here. Luis Arraez should be in there every day. Got Saturday off. Those righties coming in. He should be a 4-gamer. Campusano, we're doing 2. Manny Machado, he should be out there all 4. Xander Bogaerts, everyday player. And we are on to Seattle. Couple more, folks. Couple more here. Cal Raleigh, he doesn't normally come out. Did sit against the last couple lefties. 83rd, though, over the last 7 days. He's got to be in there. This team just needs his bat. They're all righties this week anyway. Raleigh will be in there. Dominic Canzone is a platoon bat, and he only hits righties. And, yep, you can see that from his ledger. He did sit against this righty. Probably 2.5 to 2 to 3, so we'll give him 2.5. Not going to play him anyway. Dylan Moore was starting every day for a while. Now he's lost some of that playing time with Seattle getting a little healthier. Not hitting currently. I think he's 1 or 2 games right now. JP Crawford still on the IL. He's out. Jorge Polanco's been playing almost every day, and he's getting hot. I expect him in there against everybody. He's a 3. Josh Rojas should be in there against the 3 right-handed hitters. Even though he's cold, he almost never sits against righties. He should be out there all 3. We've got Julio's back. Had a little injury scare, but he's back in there. He's been DHing. I would expect him to be out there for all 3. You don't want to sit Julio. Well, I mean, maybe you want to sit Julio. Seattle doesn't want to sit Julio. Justin Turner. Looked like he was heating up for a while, but he's gone cold again. He's kind of a half-time starter right now. 1.5. Luke Raley should be out there against all 3 righties. If you have what did I do? If you have a Raley, what the hell? The hell just happened? Oh, somebody came?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, we got. Oh, nice. Mitch Garber, really only playing against the lefties right now. So I don't know if you can expect him. Yeah, you have him one start. What happened to Rayleigh? What in the hell is going on? Okay. Whoa. What? Okay, hold on. Okay. Sorry, I must have bumped a button there. All right. Mitch Haniger, we got mostly lefties. Yeah, I don't think he starts much against righties. We'll give him one start also. Rosarena's been cold, but I can't expect him to. You got to think he's back in the lineup. Got a day off today. Have him out there for all three. Robles has been all right since joining Seattle. I expect him to continue to be leading off. And let's go to San Francisco. And San Francisco is looking at righty, lefty. Wisely has been your right-handed platoon at second base, so that would be twice. He would be out there. Casey Schmidt been the other side of that with the lefties. He would be a 1. Ramos every day. Lamont Wade just righties, so he's a 2. Marcana has been just lefties, so he's a 1. Matt Chapman's out there every day. Michael Conforto has now fallen back into a platoon, so I think he's just righties. He's a 2. Mike Yastrzemski still playing every day despite not hitting. He's a 3. Patrick Bailey is your starting catcher. He's probably getting 2 out of the 3 here. We've got Tyro Estrada still on the IL. He's a 0. Tyler Fitzgerald still hitting 3. Wilmer Flores, IL, 0. And we're on St. Louis. We got 5 more, and I'll be done here.
All right, that might take the grill.
Oh, nice. Alec Burleson in St. Louis sat today against the lefties, sat against the last 3 lefties. That's kind of interesting. He's been so good this year. 3 righties. They face the Brewers. He'll be out there all 3. I guarantee it. Brendan Donovan, starting righties and lefties right now, but he will especially be starting against those righties. This is a week you can play Lars Nootbaar, although he hasn't been hitting much. He'll be out there all 3. Mason Wynn should be in all 3. Matt Carpenter's on the IL. He's out. Michael Ciani's on the IL. He's out. Nolan Arenado, he's not coming out. He should be out there all 3. Nolan Gorman, not going to sit against right-handed pitching, so he should be out. Well, he did sit here. Sat here. I'm not even going to give him full. Not that it matters. He hasn't hit enough lately to be relevant. Paul Goldschmidt, he should be out there all 3. Tommy Pham, I would think he's out there all 3, but they've sat him against some righties now. Maybe you can't trust that. I'll give him 2.5. I think they need to let him just work through the slump. Wilson Contreras, he hasn't come out in a long time. He's a 3. Oh, excuse me. Tampa Bay. All right. Couple left here. Tampa Bay. Ben Rortvedt, still your starting catcher, but he lost some playing time to Alex Jackson. I think they're pretty even right now. I wouldn't be shocked if it went 2-2 over this 4-game set. Brandon Lau needs right-handed pitching. Righty. Ooh, yes. Start Brandon Lau. This is the weekend for him, or the week for him. Chris Morel, they finally sat him down. He's probably back in there. They traded for him at the deadline. I still think he's going to play regularly for him. Dylan Carlson's been pretty good since coming over, but mostly a left-handed specialist. I think he probably gets 2 games here. He's been playing at least half the time. Johnny DeLuca. What'd they do with Johnny DeLuca? There he is. Almost all the time here. I think he's probably a 3. Jose Caballero. He's kind of half the time right now. I'm going to give him 2.5. Jose Siri. He sat the last 3. He's dead cold. It's a guy that gets hot for a while and then he gets dead cold for a long stretch. Maybe he gets 2 games here. Josh Lowe's going to be in the lineup all 4. He's another good play. Richie Palacios still on the IL. Taylor Walls, about 3 out of 4 usually. Let's get him in for 3. Yandy Diaz should be out there all 4. Let's go to Texas. Ottalease finally heating up a little bit. He's been cold all year, but they're not going to take him out now. He's finally getting some hits. 3 for him. Corey Seager, I don't think he's coming out. Got a break last Thursday. He should be good to go. Evan Carter still on the IL. Ezekiel Duran, he never plays. He's on the active roster. Jonah Heim's been sitting a lot and losing playing time to Carson Kelly. Carson Kelly's still hot. I expect Heim to just get maybe 1 start here, have Kelly behind the dish the other 2. Josh Young, I don't think he's coming out. He got a break last Wednesday after playing about 15 in a row, so he should be good. Josh Smith doesn't come out. He sat Saturday, and that was his first break in about a month. I think he's fine. Leody Tavares should start against all the righties. Texas has righty, righty, righty. He should be out there all 3. Marcus Semien doesn't come out. He's a 3. Nathaniel Lowe is not going to come out against a righty for sure. He's a 3. Wyatt Langford is also a 3. And we're on to Toronto. I wonder if I'm going to make it in under an hour here. Let's see. Bo Bichette still on the IL, 0. Dalton Varsho sat today against the lefty. He's been pretty hot, though. Definitely starts against righties. They get 4 of them. I think he's out there all 4. Davis Schneider, they like him against the lefties. They've been sitting him for the most part against righties. I think maybe he gets 2 starts here this week. Ernie Clement's been a godsend for the Blue Jays. They've needed every bit of him. He's a 4. George Springer should be out there all 4. Got a day off last Monday. He does seem to get a day off like once a week, and he's probably due for one. I'm going to go 3.5 on Springer. He could play all 4. He might sit one. He's old. He's like 35. Joey Loperfido. Don't like him against lefties, but it's all righties. Yeah, he's probably out there all 4, but he's a 9 with 4 games. That's ridiculously bad. Spencer Horowitz, much better against righties. He should be out there all 4. Vlad, it's not coming out. And we're on to Washington. Last one. CJ Abrams been pretty cold. Hopefully he can snap out of it, but he should be out there. Jacob Young doesn't really come out ever. We've got James Wood. He pulled a ball in the air for a big home run against the Phillies today. And I know people have been saying he hadn't pulled a ball in the air all year. Well, he probably read those things and just did it. This guy's super talented. Don't worry about him. He's in there all 3. Joey Gallo, IL since June 12th. All right. Big stretch. 0. Juan Yepes sat today. Wow. That's his first day off in a month and a half. I bet he's back in there this week. Keibert homer today. Got the day off Saturday. I think he's in there 2 out of the 3. Maybe all 3 if you're lucky. And then you got Luis Garcia. He played against the lefty the last 3 times. How many lefties they got? 1, and it's Gomber. I bet he's out there. 3 for Garcia. And Trey Lipscomb is gone, I believe. Yeah, AAA. All right. All right. Thanks for watching. If you need help, don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put a link. I'll edit the link into the show notes for this live show, and go ahead and click it. Sign up. $5 a month gets you full sheet access, all my projections, all these great tabs at the bottom. You can just go find the hitters that are doing well and those that aren't. You get your gallery organizer tool. I'll show you mine here quick. Put your own cards in. It organizes everything for you. I even do little macros to sort my players. And we'll show you like who your best plays in your commons and your limiteds and whatever else you have. You can easily just throw them in the lineups, get everything organized. It's super nice. And we'll help you win. All right. Appreciate you watching. Good luck this week. Good luck this week. And we'll see you back on Thursday night.